my scrappy friends, I have a fun little treat for you today. I am participating in Crafty Meggy's 5-year YouTube anniversary hop that she is doing. There is going to be a ton of giveaways, so make sure that you follow along with the hop and you comment, and and you will get a chance to win a whole bunch of prizes because there's a whole bunch. So for the hop, we were supposed to scrap lift one of Crafty Meggy's layouts. So the one that you've seen at the beginning, that is the one that I'm doing. And I decided to use a little bit of Vicky Booten silvery glaze paste on the one side. This is just plain white cardstock. It's a smooth cardstock. I did not put any other kind of stuff to it. She had like stars on the side, and I just decided it just made sense for me to do media. So I'm gonna add that little piece that says February on it, and so now I'm gonna work on building my grid. This is a grid. She used like 3x4 cards or something, but I decided to put them a little bit smaller, and I'm gonna kind of do my thing and do a little bit of layers. I didn't do a ton of layers. I've done layouts that are similar to this before, and it's really fun when you can add a ton of layers. I really wish that I had a needle for my sewing machine. I broke it a couple of months ago, and I just haven't. I keep forgetting to pick up a needle while I'm at Walmart or whatever. I don't go to Michael's very often, but like even I didn't remember around Christmas time to get it, and so I can't sew on it because I think that would have added an extra bit. So what I did is use a silver the silver pen, and just did a few little drawing lines. You're really not going to be able to see a lot of this. That's okay, right? Sometimes we do things and it's really just to add this extra little bit of layer, because even if only just a little bit shows up, in my mind, that is enough, right? You sometimes it's just this tiny bit of something extra that you see. So in the top, she had some banners, and instead of doing actual banners, I'm just going to do strips of paper, and I cut them at different sizes and different lengths, and some of them I ripped, and I'm going to fluff them up a little bit on the edges, and then I'm going to add this adventure piece from one of the Crate Papers collections, their travel collection from last year. So that is what I did up for the top. So now I'm thinking about what I want to start putting in for the layers on that grid. Now, really, what I should have did is not put my photo down, but I did anyway. So I'm just going to work around this, and I'm going to come back to this later because I kind of start looking at my embellishments. I'm using the Hooray collection. So Megan had a like circle element off of her thing. And so instead of doing a circle, which would have been fine, I added that chipboard camera. I thought it was just perfect. And like I said, I'm using the Hooray collection. I really love it. It's super colorful, and it really helps pop when my picture is not so poppy. It's very white and black because it is snow. It is my driveway, and it is the road, and it has snow all over it. So I found this tag, and I'm going to use it, but eventually I'm going to move it. And I also took a piece of one of the ephemera pieces that had silver glitter. And so this is going to tie in the mixed media part with the other thing. And I actually was thinking I was going to use some of the other thickers from the chipboard thickery pack that had a ton of glitter on it, but I didn't end up using it because it really was just too birthday yay themed. And I mean, yes, I'm being a little sarcastic with this, with the yay paper, but I don't know. When I was doing it, it came back later to it. I didn't feel like it it fit. So as sarcastic as I kind of wanted it to be. So now I'm using some of that crepe paper collection again, with the road. And I used a lot of the 6x6 papers. I really like that because they're a smaller pattern, and I'm going to cut them down so you really still can see the back of the other squares. And some of them I'm going to cut them wonky, and you'll see. So I really wanted the layers to be visible. I wanted there to be a lot of texture behind that photo, and with the layers, I fussy cut that ampersand out of one of the tags. And here is from the Get Wild collection. I used some of that too. It had a lot of like naturally patterns, and I felt like it went kind of well with toning down some of that pattern and that craziness, even though there's not really a lot of neutrally colors except for white and black. But one of my neighbor's houses is kind of a brown color, so. But I really liked using these because since it's crepe paper, even though they're different collections put out at different times, almost like a year apart, really, the colors were really similar, so it really helps kind of match, and it looks like it was supposed to be together. So here's another piece that I did at a different size, and I just really like the way that looks. It just looks interesting, right? So that's why I decided to do it that way. And then I found another tag, and I'm thinking about using that, but I don't remember. I don't think I used that tag. So here I'm cutting up the tag, even though it would have been funny to, I think that was more my sarcastic moment. And then I covered it up. So yeah, and I'm gonna use this as just part of like another little pattern. And this, I almost use like a piece of washi tape, so I cut it and just a small, really thin strip. And it worked out really well. I thought about I'm gonna use a little bit of that arrow, but I didn't end up using as much as I thought I was going to. I'm just going to kind of layer it wonky with that February. So I have February a couple times on there, and I don't mind repeating. I think sometimes when you repeat something, it really just brings home. And since this picture is not a regular occurrence that you see in February, so I really wanted to use that tassel because it's an amazing color and it's just really fun. But I just didn't feel like it went with the layout. And then the fact that the Hooray collection has a lot of blues, I don't know, it didn't work. I also wanted to use that circly element, but I didn't end up using that. And at first I wasn't going to use any of these hearts from Pink Fresh Studio, but I really liked that blue. It's a little bit different than the tag, but I think that it kind of helps merge those a little bit more. So, and I did add that Explore Vellum folder over top of the Yay, so you still get to see that bright color, but it's not so much. And maybe if I had thought about it, had a little bit more ahead of time, this is what happens to me, right? I'm watching this and I realize I should have put that vellum tag over that geometric pattern down at the bottom. And so switch them basically and had more of the Yay for that sarcastic tone, but that's okay. And so here's some rub-ons that I used. These are old, so they weren't perfect, but that's okay. And I'm going to use that. It says work it out. And I'm going to use that little tag sticker. It said something about parking and it worked. It really worked well. And I really love that when you find elements from different collections that just kind of help bring home this idea. And here's some more arrows. Later on, I actually wrote the journaling and put it in that vellum because it's not really that important. And I wanted people to be able to get to it at some point. So, so you'll see a little bit of that journaling, but then in another picture you'll see. So don't forget to follow along in the hop. Follow along on Instagram, comment, like, subscribe to Megan if you haven't, and you will hopefully win something. She's got a ton of prizes and it's going to be super fun. So I'm excited for her. 5 years is a great accomplishment on YouTube. So I'll see you guys, and I hope you guys are inspired and have a great scrappy week. Bye.